declared and initialized using var let const, same like JavaScript. Means we declare variable with var let const. All declaration rules, initialization rules are same. Only the difference is variables are configured with data type. Variables are configured with data type. That means what we have to do when you define a variable name, we have to mention colon data type and is equal to value. So one important difference is when you declare a variable in TypeScript, you have to mention data type. So data type is defined with colon. Suppose if we want let, some username is string, let some age number. Like this, we define the data type. I will explain, are there any differences in the data types? First point, variables declaration must combine with data type. When you declare a variable, you have to mention data type. And here, another point is, no need to explain what is difference between var let const, same rules, right? If type is not defined, then the default is any type. If type is not defined, then default is any type. Suppose we are having let some data and the data type is not defined. If data type is not defined, then what is, so data is considered as what type? Any. If you don't mention data type, it is by default any type. Any type means it can handle any type. But actually, any type means what? In data, you can store a string. In data, you can store a number. Anything you can store. And one more point is that actually TypeScript supports type inference. This is very important. It supports type inference. In TypeScript, it supports type inference. Type inference means if you initialize any value, then the data type is strongly configured. Then the data type is strongly configured based on the value type. For example, let data is equal to 10. I haven't mentioned the data type as number, but what type you initialize a number. Then always now data is number. That means now always data is configured as number. So if you later enter some string into it, then that is invalid. That is invalid. What is type inference means? If you initialize any value, the initialized value type is considered as data type and it will fix. Suppose you give an LET data. Now what is the type? Any. Now in that we pass a 10. Now data will be number. Into that you pass a string. Is it valid? It is also valid. But in above case it is not valid. Why? Because you initialize. You know difference between initialization assignment. When you initialize it, what will happen? It will fix the type. It will not allow any another type. That's the reason you will be very much surprised so many times. Actually, in TypeScript, when you declare a variable, we should mention data type. But in several projects, you will see that our developers don't mention data type. You will be surprised like why they are not mentioning data type. In TypeScript, we have to mention data type. Why they are not mentioning data type? They might have initialized a value. If they initialized the value, there is no need of mentioning about data type. If they initialized 0, then it is number. If they initialized empty string, it is string. So you will see this very much. Actually, let's open this. Yesterday we created TS demo. It is a TypeScript project. I'm not showing any programs, just syntaxes. Suppose LET, some data. Now data is any type. So into data you entered 10, that is okay. Into data you entered true, that is also okay. But why? Because the data is considered as what type? Any. If I initialize this to 0, then the second one is not allowed. Only first one is allowed because it is initialized to 0 means it is number and it will not allow others. It will allow only numbers. So even you don't mention the data type will be determined according to the value you initialize. That means now data is always what type? Number type. So you don't need to mention the type regularly. But if you are not initializing, it is mandatory to mention the type. You have to mention the type. So what is type inference? This is very famous question. What is type inference? So how you will explain type inference? Type inference means the data type of a variable will be determined according to the value initialized, not according to the value assigned. It is according to the value initialized. That is the type. And one more important is here. I will give one example. Suppose I am creating LET choice. Into that choice, I need to store confirm. I need to store confirm. Now tell me, confirm is an window object now. Now tell me what should be the data type of choice. What should be the data type of choice? What confirm will return? confirm will return true false. That means it is a Boolean type. It is a Boolean type. That means what should be the data type of choice? Boolean. Because confirm will return true or false. So you have to mention this. Suppose I mention string, it is not valid. So why it is not valid? Because so it is a Boolean type and you cannot mention as a string because confirm returns a Boolean. What alert returns? Alert. If you want to store result of alert in any variable, what it returns? Alert returns undefined. Alert returns undefined. It is going to return undefined. That means the data type must be undefined. Okay. Now the point, suppose I'm using prompt. What should be the return? What a prompt returns actually? Prompt, what a prompt returns? If you know JavaScript prompt, when you click cancel, it returns null. When you click OK, it returns string. Then what should be the data type? What should be the data type? If I say string, it will show error because in some case it may return null. When I click cancel, it will return null. When I click OK, it will return string. Then what should be the data type? Can I put any? Because in one case it will return string, in another case it will return null. Can I put any? No. If I put any, then accidentally it can store a Boolean also. But you should design in such a way that the variable can accept only string or null. String or null, because you know this already. For example, you see, suppose I'm just using some inspect console. Here I'm using a simple prompt and hi. Enter message. So enter message. And when I hit enter, when I click cancel, it returns null. When I hit OK, then it returns empty string. Then what should be the data type to store its data? If you give null, it is invalid. If you give string, it is invalid. If you give any, that's not good, because if I give any later, I can store a Boolean also. Then what is the speciality of TypeScript is TypeScript supports union of types. Union of types. TypeScript supports union of types. That means you can configure a variable that can handle multiple types, multiple data types. How you can define let data, so colon type 1 colon type 2 as pipe symbol type 3, like that you can add any. That means you can declare let data can be string or number or Boolean, like this you can add. You can say let data can be string or null, you can add. like this. This is called union of types. Union of types. In many cases, you have to mention it. You have to mention union. Otherwise, it will show error. In many cases, we have to mention the union of types. So that is union of types. So here you can see when I define prompt and I ask enter name. Now here, whatever say username, its data type can be string, then it shows error. I will say string or null. Now it is good. If I give any, it will take, but any is risky because accidentally, if you use any another, it will use that. It will able to access that. So we need to restrict. So it you can restrict for string or null. See the speciality. If I don't give the data type and I simply initialize a prompt, then automatically it will be union, string or null. Automatically it will take. That is the type inference technique for that. But in many cases, we have to initialize because later we assign. Later we assign. Instead of initializing, we will put here colon. It is a string or it is a null. And very important, if you don't want to initialize later, you can assign. So technically, one important point about TypeScript is it supports union of types, right? So while working with variables, what new thing you learned here? Variable declaration requires a data type specification. And any is considered as root type for all data types. And you can have union of types. And it supports type inference. It supports type inference. And very important is uh, all primitive types and their manipulations are same as in JavaScript. So there is no change. All primitive types and their manipulations are same as in JavaScript. So all the primitive types and their manipulations are same as in JavaScript. Primitive types means number, string, boolean, null, undefined. So we have symbol and we have big int. All these types are same. In JavaScript, you already learned these data types. So number means signed, unsigned, floating, double, decimal, exponent, binary, hexa, octa. All this comes under number. Suppose I want to store 4E3. Then what should be the data type? Number. Why? Because it is exponent. It is a number type. I want to store 0B1010. that is also number, right? You know that. So here, suppose you are configuring LET price, and here we are using big int is equal to, what is big int? A large integer value having suffix n, then it is big int. You already know this in JavaScript, no need to explain that. So this is big integers, large integer numbers, and big ints are defined with suffix n. So all are same, there is no change. Just basic syntax I will give. Suppose LET value, so here we have a number is equal to 2e3. This is what type? Exponent. Exponent type. LET value, some big int n as suffix. This is big int type. The value big int. So LET value, some boolean is equal to, so true, false. That is boolean. Suppose LET value is boolean and equal to 0. Is it valid? In JavaScript, 0 is false, 1 is true, but here it is invalid. Boolean means it will take only true, false keywords. In JavaScript, not like that. In JavaScript, Boolean expression can be verified with 0 and 1. But not here. Here, Boolean means true, false. And why to use symbol already we know. Symbol is used for hidden types in JavaScript. For object keys, we use that. So these are all the primitive types. So there is no change in primitive types. And as I given point here, all primitive types and their manipulations are same. Means what? Number methods, string methods, all parsing methods, everything same. There is no change. That means to fixed, to local string, to precision, parseInt, parse float, same, no change. Everything same. String functions, number functions, everything same. There is no change in that. So all these primitive types are same. But what is change? This is important. So what is the change is TypeScript, non-primitive types. This we have to learn separately because some changes are there. TypeScript, non-primitive types, some changes. We have some changes. What are non-primitive types? You already know. Non-primitive are mutable types. They are mutable. Primitive are immutable. Immutable types. So TypeScript, non-primitive types, first we will see array. Array type. Little change when compared to JavaScript. Actually in JavaScript, what is array? In JavaScript, you already learned array is used to reduce overhead and complexity. Array can store different types of values. Array size can be changed dynamically. These all points are in JavaScript. But here in TypeScript, we have two techniques. What is it is, you can configure array for handling same data type or various types. Both techniques are present. So remember, array declaration memory allocation, and methods are all same as in JavaScript. So there is no change in that. Array declaration, memory allocation, and methods are all same. So array declaration, memory allocation, and methods are all same. What is change is handling data types. That means in our previous JavaScript array, you can handle any type of data, but here to it can work like JavaScript and it can work like your Java array, .NET array. How? LET, you have data, you can configure as string type array. You can put new array constructor, or you can say let data, and here you defined any type array using meta character or constructor, anything you can define. What is difference between first one and second one? First one allows only string, second one will allow different. That means it will work like JavaScript data type, JavaScript array. This works like your .NET, C++, C programming arrays, string array, number array, Boolean array. We can restrict the types. But one tricky concept is there, little tricky confusion. What is the tricky is you cannot initialize various types of data, various types of values into array constructor. Array constructor is this one. Into array constructor, even when the data type is configured, as any, even when the data type is configured as any, you cannot initialize various types of values into array constructor. The first initialized value type is used for others. You cannot initialize but assign. You cannot initialize but assign. You cannot initialize but you can assign. You cannot initialize but you can assign. You cannot initialize but you can assign. This is little confusion, but actually it's very clean point. Suppose see, I am defining let data as any type array. I am allocating memory as new array constructor. Here I mentioned 10. After that I mentioned A. This is invalid. Only number is allowed. Only number types are allowed. What does this means? What is the first value data type? All must be same type. That means all must be number. If first one is string, then all must be string. If first one is string, then all must be string. So that means if I put let data, any type, and new array, and first is A, and after that I given 10, this is invalid. Only string types allowed. Only string types allowed. That means if you are allocating memory with a array constructor and you want to initialize values, you cannot initialize different types even when the data type is any. Data type is any, but you cannot initialize. But see the tricky point. Let data any type array is equal to new array. Now into data 0, you are storing 10. In data 1, you are storing A. This is valid. There is no problem. What does the sentence means? It means that you can't initialize, but you can assign. You can assign. The first one syntax is initializing. The second one is assignment. Assignment is allowed. Initialization not allowed. So remember, initialization and assignment both are allowed only for array defined using meta character. Using meta character. Initialization and assignment both are allowed only for array defined using meta character. That is the reason we call that as a tuple. You call it as a tuple. Tuple means it is a collection of different types of values, either initialized or assigned. Initialization, assignment, both are allowed only with meta character. That means you declare let data as any type array is equal to meta character in that 10, in that A, in that true. This is valid. No problem in that. That is valid. You can initialize different values. You can assign different values. Data of 0 is equal to A. Data of 1 is equal to 20. Both are valid. There is no problem in this. That is valid. You can initialize, you can assign. So sometimes in interviews they ask in TypeScript, what is difference between allocating memory with array constructor and array meta character? Actually in JavaScript, in JavaScript, meta character will allocate static memory and constructor will allocate dynamic memory. But in TypeScript, one more extra point. What is that? You cannot initialize different types of values if memory is allocated with array constructor. Even when the data type is any, you cannot initialize different types. It is possible only with meta character. I will show a point here. Suppose let data is any type array is equal to new array in that 10 and A. It's not allowed. So it says that string is not assignable for number. We haven't mentioned that it should handle number, but according to first type it takes. If first type is string, then second type can be string. And if second type is number, then it is again invalid. Again, it is invalid. And remember, you can assign different. Data of 0 is 10. You can assign. Data of 1 is true. You can assign. There is no problem. So what is tuple? So how you configure a tuple? You can configure a tuple using array meta character. So it is a collection. It is a collection of various types of values. It is a collection of various types of values. So collection of various types of values. Collection of various types of values. Yeah. So that is tuple. And one more point is you can configure a union for array type. You can configure a union for array type, but very important is array union will not allow to initialize all types. Array union will not allow to initialize all types. You can only assign all types. You can only assign all types. So you can only assign or initialize. Here you can only assign. You cannot initialize. What does it mean? Even with C, LET data is string array or number array. This is union string array or number array is equal to I'm using meta character 10 and A. This is invalid. This is invalid. Why it is invalid? Because you can't initialize either all numbers or all strings. Even with meta character, you can assign different. That means data of 0. 1 can be number, data of 1. Another can be string. That is okay. There is no problem in this. This is valid. So you cannot initialize different types. You can assign different types. That is what this sentence means. So it means it is the type defined for this. So this is array of types. You can have union, but you can't initialize. You can only assign. That means what is the meaning here? You created a string type, data is string type array or it is number type array. 10 and A, that is invalid. You can see data cannot accept. It says that not assignable. All numbers or all string, fine. But you can not initialize, but you can assign. Data of 0 is 10. Data of 1 is A. That is okay. Data of 2 is true. That is invalid. Why? Because it is union of only number and string. Right? That is one important concept you should know. This is about arrays. So you can find lot of differences in the concept of array. You can make it work like your JavaScript array, or you can make it strongly typed for specific data type. This is very, very important in future, because when we are working with APIs and data, we have to exactly mention what type of data we are dealing with. So this is important. And after understanding array, I already told you I am not giving any programs here, because already we know the concept. Differences only we are learning. How JavaScript, how TypeScript. We will implement this in one project. We'll see that. Okay, next, in primitive, non-primitive types, we have an object type. In the non-primitive types, we have an object type. Here, one more very important point. What is problem in JavaScript object? In JavaScript object, it is structureless, semi-structured or structureless. JavaScript objects are structureless. Structureless means, for example, what does JavaScript object means? It is structureless. Structureless means, suppose LET product is equal to object. In that we have a name. So some string. In that we have price, some number. Now what I done is product dot name is equal to 4000. It will take. There is no problem. It will take. There is no problem. If I say product dot price is equal to A, it will take, no problem. It is valid in JavaScript. That means it is structureless. So you already learned optional chaining. I explained that point. So technically, what is special in TypeScript is you can configure a schema for object. You can configure a schema. Schema means structure for object, so that it should be according to the structure. How? Let's see. What is the speciality of object type in TypeScript is you can configure a schema. You can configure a schema for object. You can configure a schema for object. Schema you can configure for object. All object manipulations are same. All object manipulations are same. That means adding keys, removing keys, verifying keys, reading all keys, reading all values, everything same. So all object manipulations are same as in JavaScript. Only the point is schema. Schema is syntactically LET, suppose OBJ. Here we have to put a colon, and in the colon we have to design the schema equal to the object should contain according to schema. According to schema, you have to put data. Better you say data according to schema. According to the schema, only data should be. That is the speciality here. That means how we define. Example is LET product, and we will put a schema saying that product should have a name. This is string type. It should have a price. It is number type. That's how we define. That means now what should data contain? Data should contain only name and price. Data should contain name and price, and name must be string and price must be number. It must be string and number. You cannot have others. Here again, so many points are there about the schema. So many important points are there about schema. Let's see now here. I'm adding a LET product, and here I define a schema. Product name string, product price is number, is equal to data. Why it is showing error? It is showing error because every key mentioned in structure is mandatory. Every key defined in structure is mandatory. That means in structure you mentioned two keys, name, price. Now why it is showing error? Because it is saying that name missing, price missing. You will see that it says that missing. What are missing? Name and price. Okay, I entered name. Into that I entered some number. It's not valid because name can be only string type. You cannot assign number. Okay, I entered string. So why still it is error? Because price is missing. Price is number. Now that is fine. For example, I am adding some rating as 2.4. Not allowed. Not allowed. You cannot add anything which is not in the structure. Exactly what is defined in the structure you have to define. You cannot miss or you cannot add. So by default, every key, so every key configured in a schema is a required key, and must match the exact data type and must match the exact data type. Every key configured in schema is required key and must match the exact data type. Every key configured in schema is the required key and must match the exact data type. So here we cannot add keys, we cannot remove the keys. But one point is that here, what is the point is you can configure optional keys using null reference character question mark. You can configure optional keys using null reference character question mark. You can have optional keys using question mark. You can configure optional keys. For example, here we are adding in the structure rating is number. If rating is number, now it is showing error because rating is missing in the data. It says that rating is missing. So what I will do is I will make it question mark. Then it is optional. That means it is not mandatory to have rating. Now, how to verify is it defined or not? By using undefined type. Undefined is to verify whether the value defined for rating or not. That means how you write, we write a condition. If rating, what is it? Product dot what? Rating is equal to what? Undefined. If it is undefined, then do something. That means don't print it. Don't print it. So technically, you can have optional keys. If it is not optional, then it is mandatory. You can have multiple optional keys. You can have multiple optional keys. So how you define syntactically? LET product, it is name, string, price number, rating, question mark, colon, number. That's how we define. Rating is optional. Rating is optional. You can configure optional keys. Now, so optional keys are verified using undefined, or you can simply write syntax. If product dot rating, what does it means? Returns true if rating is defined with value. You know that how to verify defined, na? That is the logic for define. You have defined and undefined. Yeah, one important announcement is I posted one job opportunity in my Instagram group for React and for UI full stack. Right? So I hope you are following my Instagram group. That is only for Naresh IT students. This is my Instagram group. In that, just today I posted, yesterday I posted these React, but it is location for Vishakhapatnam, I think. For any AP people are interested, you can apply for this. That is an offline job. You apply any stream, any percentage, any year passed out. They want React people, freshers. They want React people. Okay, and today I posted these two things. One is UI full stack for all 2018 to 2025 passed outs. But they mentioned lot of things. But if you show good skills in JavaScript, React, they said that that is enough. Right? They mentioned all these skills, but we spoken to those people already. They said that, sir, if they are JavaScript and React good, that is enough. And this is Hyderabad. It is remote job. It is remote job. Another one also UI full stack. This is also Hyderabad and Mumbai location are there. If you are in Mumbai location branch will be there. And this is 2023 and after passed outs. Here also, they are looking for good knowledge of React and JavaScript only. They mentioned so many, but if you show good skills in JavaScript, React in interview, they ask questions, then you are qualified because it's a fresher. Fresher means they will train you on again their project required contents. So you can go to these two, right? You can try these as because they are expecting all three, they are expecting React and they are still open. They are still open. Just today I uploaded two and others are here. In coming few days, I will keep on posting few. So if you people are already in that, in my Instagram group, you can get it from there. Others, for others, I will paste here. You can join. So if you are already in this Instagram group, so I will just post that Instagram group. You can join because coming few weeks, several more React companies are there. We postponed them just because we want to complete in a sequence with order of people who are already asking for React developers. That means already several companies are there. So we want one by one, all not all at a time, confusing. So that's the reason because now many majority companies are asking for React people, right? So many opportunities are there. Only the point why I'm announcing in class because I don't need to announce. People who follow my Instagram already they know why I'm announcing because the companies are asking that still several people have not applied. They want more people. Today they called us and they said that many people applied, but we want more people. So please tell and let many people apply to this so that they have good opportunities. Right? That's the reason I'm announcing. Otherwise, no need to announce because many people already apply and they scrutinize them. They're asking more people. They want to wrap mostly by this month end because after May, June, now no more jobs. That means after May, June, little slow down. Jobs will slow down. If you have to crack the job, the best months are April and May. After April, May, no more jobs. You will not get calls from companies, right? It will reduce very much. It will reduce. Jobs will be only during April and May month, right? If you are looking for jobs hardly, seriously, then try to crack it within these 2 months. Otherwise, you will slow down again. And by the time you reach August, September, complete stop. August, September means no more. 1, 2 calls will be coming. Very rare. December completely stop. Up to March again, no jobs. Software companies hire people only in 3 months: April, May, June. If you have to crack a job, you have to crack within these 3 months. Otherwise, you cannot crack an entire year. It will be, you can crack, but difficult because all opportunities are seized. I hope you know Cognizant, Deloitte also has internal openings now. If you have any friends working there, so ask them. TCS has done, IBM is doing, IBM, TCS, Cognizant, and one more. Those all people are having internal openings for freshers through reference only. If any of your friends, relatives are working in IBM or they are working in Cognizant or they are working in TCS, internal references are there now. That means you can ask them to forward your resume as a fresher. You will get job easily. Right? Through reference, you can get. So ask, don't go for reference with any consultancies. Only if any genuine people working in that company, you have friends or relatives, ask them. Now, April, May, June, these 3 months only. After that, it will slow down, right? So they are asking many in number. You try in coming days, few more React jobs are there. Already I posted this React job. So few days back, I already posted this and our people got placed into it. I hope not your batch, from your previous batch, some people has got placed into it. So now this is the latest one. This is latest and this is 1 day ago. And these are today's. This is yesterday and these two are today's. They are still open and they need good skills with only JavaScript, React enough. And not great skills also. Medium, minimum skills are enough. If you are interested, you can apply them, right? Why I am announcing? Because they are asking large in number. They are asking large in number. So that's the reason. That means already many people applied. Today they called us and said that we want more people. So you try. Okay. Next important. So after understanding this, yeah, what is this? Every object can have an optional key. Actually, every key is mandatory. You can have optional keys. Another point is, another important here is, I will keep this outside. Yeah. Another important point you should know is, so you can configure read only keys for object. Read only keys can allow initialization but not assignment. Read only keys can allow initialization but not assignment. You cannot assign. You can have a read only key also. These are not possible in JavaScript. So you can configure read only key. Read only key means, suppose I'm giving LET OO product is having name, string type, and price. We have like read only price number type. Like this, we can configure. And we are initializing name as TV and price as some price. After that, product dot name is equal to some Samsung TV. That means I changed the name. So it is valid. Product dot price is equal to, I changed the price also. This is invalid. Why invalid? Price is read only. You can't change. Once you initialize, you cannot change. But name can be changed because name is not read only. So what is the point about read only is, you see now here I accessed product dot name and into that I entered Samsung TV. That's okay. I'm saying product dot price is equal to some new price. That is also okay. But if I make the price as read only, then it is not allowed. If you make the price read only, then you cannot do this. That means you cannot assign to price because it is read only. Here we are not assigning, we are initializing. Initialization is allowed. Assignment is not allowed. Assignment is not allowed. So this is invalid. This is invalid. So why? Because it is read only. We can have multiple read only. We can have multiple optional. We can configure read only also. Okay. So this is the concept of object. Now the question is, now you saw array and you saw object. Now how array of object, how you declare array of object. Of course, object in object, that's a common thing. There is no speciality. You can configure multiple multiple embedded objects. Embedded, you can configure multiple embedded objects. So you can define array of objects. You can define array of objects, but how? A simple tricky point is LET products. Products is an object. It is an object of name, string, and price, number, and it is object type array. Like this, you have to define. That means what it can have? It can have objects, collection of objects. Object type array. That's how we have to define. That is the schema. Schema is an array. That means multiple. It supports multiple. That is how we define array of objects. You can define array of objects. So for example, I'm configuring here. Okay. So LET products is an object type array. That means it is an array of objects. And what should be every object? It should have a name string. It should have a price number. That means here you can configure the array of objects. Every object needs a name and it needs a price. This is one object. Another object name and mobile. So price. You can configure like this. Manipulation, no change. All manipulations are same. How? What is that? Products dot what? Map. Read every product and just log. Console dot log. Print every product dot name. Right. So here don't use alert, prompt, or document write. DOM methods don't use. Why? Because currently we are not compiling in browser. They are all browser objects. We are compiling in command line. Then only command line commands must be there, right? That means now how to run this, you know how to run this. So tsc index dot what? TS node index dot what? JS, and it is going to print those two details, mobile and TV. Just roughly, I given the point how we can manage. This is example for that roughly I give. This is example index.ts. That's so we have array and we have an object and how you deal with array of objects. And what else in the data type you have? So data type, map type is same, map type. It is same as in JavaScript, but here, what is the point is TypeScript can restrict key and value type. TypeScript can restrict key and value type. Then what is same as in JavaScript? Manipulation. All manipulations are same. Methods are same. What is difference between map and object? In object, key must be string. In map, key can be any type. But in TypeScript, you can make key all string type, all number type, value also all string type. We can restrict. Earlier, map can have different types of keys and different types of values, but we can restrict here. How we can restrict is, see, this is important. Later you will learn about a concept called generics, right? But actually map is generic. That means LET, some data is a map type. Here you should mention key type and you have to mention value type is equal to new map. You have to mention the key type and value type in an angle bracket. This is called generic. Later I will explain about generics. Map is a generic type. That means if I say LET data, it is a map with a number and a string. What does it means? What does it means? Into the data, you can set key. Key must be number and value must be string. Right? So that means you can set all keys and values must be, all keys must be number, all values must be string. Actually what they are, actually number is any, key is any type, value is any type. In map, usually key and values are any type key, any type value. But in TypeScript, we can restrict. We can use data.get. So we can use data.delete, data.delete. We can use data.has, right? We can use data.size. We have all the methods same. Only the difference is in JavaScript, map can have any type key, any type value. But here you can restrict string type key, string type value, or string type key number type value, or string type key any type value. You can have any. For example, we can configure the type like this: LET data, and it is a map. You have to mention in angle bracket key type, value type. Key type is number and value type is string. String now is equal to new map. Now when you set data.set, you cannot set a string type key and number. This is invalid because the key must be what type? Number. The value must be what type? String. We can restrict to that particular. Earlier, actually, what is the point? Key can be, means in JavaScript, I will show you. Actually, in JavaScript, when you create a data is equal to new map. Then what is the key type? Observe data dot set. Key is any type, value is any type. By default, key is any type, value is any type. But here we can restrict. We can set restriction for that by using this. And manipulation is same. Dot keys, dot entries, dot values, all manipulation is same. There is no change in. So we have object, and we have array, and we have map. And just conclude that date type is also same. Date type same as in JavaScript. It is same as in JavaScript. So all date methods are same. Getter, setter methods are same. Only the point, how do you declare? Let some now, it is a date type is equal to new date. You know that if you want to initialize, you can put year, month, day, hours, minutes, seconds. All these are same, no change. Only the point, the data type you mention as what? Date. We have date type. All date methods are same, no change. And here one new data type is there. So what is the new data type? Regular expression, REGEX. That is the new data type for regular expression. So you have one more new type, regular expression type. So you can configure patterns with REGEXP, regular expression. And what it should contain? It can have meta characters and quantifiers. Quantifiers enclosed in // you know that. That means how to define regular expression. Let pattern is equal to, a pattern is what type? Regular expression is equal to, how to write regular expression? Exponent /d 10 digits and dollar. You know that expression should start with exponent and end with dollar. And it should be enclosed in //. How to verify regular expression and value? It is verified by using string match method. You know that. How to verify regular expression? By using match. That is same. Only the point, you have a new data type. And that is regular expression type. So what are the new data types you find here is regular expression and big int. Big int. All others are same concept. So one important note, no change in operators and statements. There is no change. All operators and statements are same. JavaScript operators, TypeScript operators, same. JavaScript statements, TypeScript statements, same. Selection, iteration, looping, jump, exception handling, all are same. Now what is change? Huge change in function. So many changes are there in function. Several concepts are same, but several changes are there in function. So now you need to detailedly learn about TypeScript functions that we'll see tomorrow, right? functions, so many changes. Because this is our main concept, because React components are functions. So we need to know how they are different. So you will not find huge changes, but majority you already know. Some basics you should learn. And OOP completely new. Several new things are there in object oriented programming. But what is the point is classes and all are avoidable. Already we know that we don't prefer much using classes, but I will give introduction. Why? Because if you are learning TypeScript for Angular, then primary concentration must be classes because their components are classes. But our components are not classes, our components are functions. So we will more concentrate on functions, but I will give you overview about other classes also. Tomorrow we will discuss about TypeScript functions. Okay, right.